Hey, Quincy, Santa, and Kai. Thank you for your submission here. Just remember, just one point, Quincy, when you're making a full page PDFs like that, there's a little box to uncheck called uncheck for rotate for best fit. You don't want that. So just uncheck that next time. I like the idea of a bike. In the house doesn't feel very much like travel though. You might have been kind of stuck for light. I would suggest all of you use daylight for like just about everything in this class because you haven't learned about lighting yet, and it's really tricky to use indoor lighting unless you know studio lighting. So take that bike outside like you did here. So the good news is that there's a revision thread that you could add some more details during the day. And that's due like I think Friday or Saturday would be fine. I might not be able to get in there to give feedback because I'm usually off on the weekends. However, you can all help each other in there. Love the idea of a backpack. Love the idea of the bike. Show me a cool trail with a nice leading line. Maybe somebody a rule of thirds like positioning all the learning activities from this week coming together nicely here. That's what I like to see. Love your theme, but the photos composition are not there yet. You're limited with light and space. Kai, beautiful shots. I think you're in Hawaii, as I recall. These don't look Hawaiian, though. Mind you, I haven't been to every island, so love the idea of the drinks hanging out on the table. Too bad they're not full, though. I like that you're exploring a bunch of different areas. The one on the far left of the bus is kind of cool because I mentioned, the idea of travel. So some of these just feel like sites and historic sites, but having like someone traveling through this, like with the cars on the street, that's a great idea. How wonderful you have a 1.8 f-stop lens so you can isolate focus. May not suit, but the photo on the far left of the ladder, very cool reflection in there, very Eugene Atget of you. I also like the one on this left side, but I don't like the left, whatever's blurred in the way there, unfortunately. The rest is kind of a really cool shot. Good vibe. The car going down the street, that's a cool one to use as well. So lots of great options here. Looks like your weather's cleared up too since digital image management, so you have some good weather. That's kind of a cool cider company, but I think because this is a general travel book, I don't want to endorse one particular company on the book cover. So I would go with more general. Love this one. I think that's a cool one. Too bad bummed about that green bump coming out there, but I think it's workable. Maybe find another vertical one. I like the one of the mannequins, the balloons, and the car in the background. That's kind of cool too. It doesn't denote any specific company, which is good. So good job exploring, and just change up the vertical one to be less specific. Santa, you have a suitcase, but once again, the lighting is really poor, and the atmosphere, the location doesn't really denote travel very much. So, and the empty suitcase, what about that? You're filling it up, which is cool. You're trying to tell a story. I like it in the back of the car. The one in the bottom left is kind of cool. I think there's some more in there that you can see, like a trunk full or someone carrying it going down the road. Like, you can add people in there. Don't be afraid to add people as props, and maybe a map, someone holding a map or a compass. In the end, I'm not happy with the light in this photo, and I'm probably sure that you aren't either. Let's stay outside and let's give an interesting background. It's not about a suitcase. You're not trying to sell a suitcase. You're going to try to sell travel. So show me some action in there. This is kind of a cool one as a landscape orientation. Like this one, this could work, but it's kind of specific to your room and so on. What if you had that suitcase somewhere else, like outside? The lighting is pretty good. It's a little yellow from white balance issues, but if you absolutely had to use it, I would use it, but I would continue to shoot because there is a theme, a revision thread that you could, submit and get feedback from each other a little bit more. So I hope this feedback helps. I'm happy with all your contact sheets. Just flip them in the right orientation. Your exposures look good. Thank you for combining them all into one PDF, and really great effort. Just work with the best light you can, which is natural at this point.